Hey Libra, welcome to November. We are almost at the end of this year and it's very exciting. We are between two eclipses right now. We had the first eclipse on October 25th and we have another upcoming eclipse, lunar eclipse in Taurus on November 8th. I'm actually running a sale on my website right now, so if you want a personal reading or distance Reiki session with me, now is actually a great time to book. You can get 20% off any of my services on my schedule and in my store, and I would love to work with you. Anyways, I have some cards that I pulled for you, Libra. And the first one I got was the hummingbird energy, which is really, really beautiful. Kind of reminds me of the Virgo reading I just did. So if you have some Virgo energy, there might be some parallels here because there's kind of this high energy with the hummingbird and finding the sweetness. But I feel like for a lot of you, there's like a creative process or reconnecting with your creativity. And kind of makes sense because we've had Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which for you represents passion and romance and creativity, as well as children. And so these areas of your life might have been afflicted over the past few years. And now that Saturn is going direct, Saturn is actually going to be entering into the sign of Pisces. We're kind of finishing up this Saturnian cycle because Saturn goes through each sign every few years. It takes its time kind of slowing us down, breaking things apart so we can really lay it all on the table and build the things that we actually want to build in our lives. So if you felt creatively blocked, I actually do feel like with the hummingbird, there is something that is coming into focus. You're finding this mana, this energy again. Your vibration is increasing. We also have the oyster here as well. And it's like you're connecting to some sort of gift. And that's why I'm getting a very creative vibe for this group. But if it's not creative, it's just something that brings you a lot of passion. You're finding movement. You're finding something that really gives you energy. And you're finding this within yourself or in doing this work, in doing this activity or in doing the things that you love. It is helping you find something that has been inside of you the whole time. It is helping you reconnect with some precious part of you. And it's like there is this pearl in you that you are meant to share with the world. And it's interesting how a pearl gets formed in an oyster because it just starts off as a grain of sand. It seems ordinary. It seems, very mundane. And then it becomes something beautiful over time. And it's kind of happening in this way where people around you don't necessarily see it. And maybe you haven't even realized what has been growing or forming in you that will soon be ready to be shared with the world. So, kind of a big message there, if I do say so myself. Let's pull some tarot cards for you too. But as we're doing that, we can kind of talk about the astrology. Because we are in Scorpio season, there is a lot of focus on abundance and security for you, especially with the new moon eclipse that we had on October 25th. There could have been some sort of new beginnings regarding finances or security for you, maybe new sources of income or changes to your sources of income. All of those things are possible with that eclipse. And of course, it could have affected you in different ways as well. I do always recommend watching the rising sign video because that could really explain a lot of what is happening to you astrologically. We do have the Ace of Wands, so there is this spark that is being reignited within you that feels really, really interesting and maybe part of this stability that you are finding. I actually get the sense that some of you are like, it's almost like this energy where we can kind of put these barriers around doing the things that we love, actually. Where it's like, I'm going to go on this vacation after I've worked at this job for 3 years. And, there may be reasoning why we do these things, but on some level, we're also just sort of putting these needless restrictions around things because there might be other ways to achieve or realize our desires. And it's important to be open with that. I'm just getting that for some reason for you. You might be needing to look at your life and sort of seeing where am I potentially putting walls or restrictions around myself that don't necessarily need to be there. Some of you may have been working a stable job because you're trying to get to a point where you can freelance or do something that you love. And now you're sort of like, no, how can I make this process sustainable? That's just something I'm sort of getting with the hummingbird and with the Ace of Wands here. But I really like to see this spark. I really like to see this passion or interest being kind of incited or ignited in you. What else do we have? We have the devil. Interesting. Why is the devil here? What is the devil doing here? Some of you are doing shadow work. And again, like there is this thing about control. Interesting. So what I'm actually getting for you, Libra, and this is going to be different for all of you because these are general readings, or maybe both of these messages apply. The first scenario I'm getting for this group, you have either given up something that you love to be in a relationship with someone, and you might not have even been realizing you've been doing it. Someone might have been really controlling, or someone's words might have dissuaded you from doing something that was beautiful for you, or healing for you, or inspiring to you. For others of you, this is a situation where it's like kind of what I was describing, like a workplace situation, something that is stable and secure, but it's actually a trap and it keeps you stuck in your life. I am noticing the Justice card here at the bottom of the deck. And that's actually kind of interesting too, because there might be something with justice being served around the full moon lunar eclipse on November 8th. Kind of paying out your dues, setting things right, ending cycles, freeing yourself from contracts or from agreements that are restricting to you. That's kind of interesting. But I'm really feeling like doing this sort of shadow work or releasing something that has kept you contained or disconnected from another part of yourself. What else do we have for Libra for the month of December? 7 of Swords. Okay, another message coming in with the Ace of Wands, the Devil, and the 7 of Swords. There could just be this kind of passion or this fling that isn't necessarily good for you. You kind of know, or you're kind of sensing that, I think, with the Devil and the 7 of Swords. Like someone is hiding something, something isn't quite right. So there might be some need to have firmer boundaries with yourself. And like that's kind of the message I was getting. Like maybe there's someone in your life, a relationship or a person who dissuaded you from doing something that you love. Sometimes that is like a bit of an abuse tactic, or at the very least controlling. So someone might have been controlling you in a very subtle way. And I think you're starting to notice that this month. Especially if there is a Capricorn energy. We also do have Gemini energy. We have some Libra energy here as well, with the 7 of Swords and 4 of Swords. Yeah, I really feel like it's important for you to meditate this month with the 4 of Swords here. Ace of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. There is a very stable new beginning. And I almost get the sense, like, I talked about this in one of the other readings too, but it's like, you know how sometimes when your life is about to go in like a really positive direction and like there's just this change that is about to take place, it seems like there's all of these people from the past coming out of the woodwork, almost trying to get a piece of what it is that you are about to experience or receive from the universe or from life. And there's almost kind of that like vampiric quality. I'm kind of getting that actually. Like there are people who are coming back from the past. There might even be someone who potentially ghosted you, or you like cut off communication with them with the 4 of Swords, and they've kind of been on and off. I do kind of get the energy that some of you have been in a connection that has been very on and off, and maybe this stable thing is a stable relationship in the future. And it doesn't feel like it's with this person, it feels like it's with someone different. And that kind of makes sense looking at sort of the macro astrology. Like 2023 is going to be a really good year for you to find relationships and to find love. And like we sort of had that at the beginning, or I'm sorry, the middle of this year, but it was almost like a taste of what is to really come to fruition in 2023. I really get the sense of like, I almost get the sense of like a toxic ex or like just this person, the one who got away, like sort of watching you on social media or you're watching them. I'm kind of getting that like spying energy actually. But it's because someone knows there's this beautiful new beginning, there's this new chapter, and it's like someone is finally getting the thing they've worked towards. And it kind of feels like it's you. Because this is your reading, after all, Libra. And you might be attracting some unwanted attention or some maybe sus or shady energy, if I could be so honest with you. And like the oyster, it's like maybe you do need to protect some part of yourself. Maybe this thing that you are getting ready to share with the world isn't necessarily something that you should share with this person right now. What else do we have for Libra? Let's actually clarify things. What is going on in love and relationship for Libra? We have the Strength card and we have the Emperor card. Love to see these two, actually. I feel like you're just at this point in your life right now, Libra, where it's like you're not seeking out or in relationships just to be in a relationship. You are at this point where it's like, if you're going to be in a partnership with someone, it has to be like the real deal. It has to be stable. It has to be a really good, powerful thing. Some of you could be courting an Aries or a Leo. But it feels like the relationships that you are forging or being guided to forge or commit to are very stable and very composed. It's interesting because I'm actually hearing like boring. Like I almost feel like the relationships that you are finally gravitating towards are like relationships you would have been bored by in the past. That's kind of funny. And maybe that's kind of this devil and the ace of wands. It's almost like you were looking for trouble. And now trouble is kind of around you or starting to look at you. And you're actually like, no, I don't actually want that anymore. So that's really funny to me. 10 of Cups. Yeah, you want like a home, you want a family, you want this beautiful connection, and like what that means looks different to everybody. Like you might not want a family in the sense of like wanting children. You might not even want this with like a domestic partner. Maybe this is involving friends, or maybe this is involving just sharing your life with people. Like you want real connections. And I feel like some of you are kind of putting a mask down and you're letting go of fear. Excuse me. I think there's one more card for love and relationships, and then we'll pull some cards for finances and career. Interesting. 9 of Pentacles. I feel like you have just reached this level of maturity where it's like you are either comfortable by yourself or with other people. And that's like a very stable and secure place to be. And it's like, with this group specifically, I really get this sense that one of the things you have been learning in your life, it's like you are using relationships to find a sense of excitement or passion. You've done this historically. I'm not saying you're still doing this, but in the past, you may have used romance to kind of give you that spark, give you that fire. And actually, what you are finding now is something creative. You're finding a creative outlet. You're finding something that lights you up. You're finding a passion. And you don't need toxic people to give you that rush anymore. And in fact, you're ready for solid relationships. That's where you're at now. Or that is the direction you are headed if you are leaving and extracting yourself from other people's energy still. Now let's ask about finances. Let's ask about career. What is going on? We have the King of Wands. This is sometimes an entrepreneurial energy. Why is the King of Wands here? We have Temperance. A very tempered flame with these two. You know, Temperance often does invoke the image of fire and water, these elements, and finding the sort of moderation, the balance between two things. And the King of Wands is someone who has mastered the fire element in such a way where it's no longer destructive or impulsive. And I really see this very masterful energy for you. Some of you are actually doing energy work or wanting to pursue some sort of holistic healing modality. I feel like there's something with this group. A lot of you are also healers. You're creatives and healers of some kind. I feel like that's a really good direction for you to go in. And it's like finding, I don't want to say your worth. It's like finding what you offer to those worlds or realms. And I mean, with the Temperance card, we have the Sagittarius new moon. We have Sagittarius season at the end of this month, and Temperance is the Sagittarius card, or one of them. And so there could be this manifestation that is happening around this time, and really becoming clear in your mind and in your thoughts and in your communication. I actually feel like some of you are writers, or poets or songwriters. Like there's something about writing specifically with this group that feels like it's really important. Or this could just even be journaling if you don't consider yourself like a writer. But I really do feel like a lot of you are also writers. And you're finding the time to do that. And interestingly, it is National Novel Writing Month, so maybe some of you are doing that this month as well, or just kind of riding on that collective wave. Because I swear, like every November, there's just like this creative pulse in the collective, and I think it's kind of because of that going on. Like people just start stirring, even if they know about it or don't. Um, I'm feeling like there's a lot of creativity actually. What else do we have? Is there anything else? I feel like there's a lot of focus on stability, actually. And it's like making stability sexy. I don't know. Like it's like finding genuine appreciation for security. And it's like there is this growth that is happening. And you're freeing yourself from contracts, from situations that have kept you stuck. You're finding freedom in your own independence, and it feels like financial freedom is also part of this too. And you're just lightening your energy. When we see the hummingbird energy, there's nothing heavy about this. It's a very light energy and letting go of burdens. And sometimes when I see hummingbird, it's kind of a reminder to me to travel light. Don't bring all the baggage with you. Let things go. Take only what you need. And what you need is already inside of you with this pearl, with this oyster. And then we are ending off with your card, the Mother or Queen of Swords. And I feel like you have a very perceptive mind. And it's like you're putting your mind towards things that actually benefit you and are actually constructive. And there may have been some bumps along the way. There may have been some heartache getting to this point. I feel like there's just this major turning of a chapter for you, Libra. Like, the past is done. You had your fun, and honestly, you might have even gotten a little hurt. But now you're coming into this very stable place. And I do feel like there is this new beginning for you with the Ace of Pentacles, with the Ten of Pentacles, that feels really positive and very abundant. And I really get that sense of manifestation, like some sort of material manifestation. Like something is coming that you've been waiting for a long time. And it's like, if you're trying to manifest a relationship or something more emotional, it's like it comes when you appreciate stability and when you can slow down. And I know there was kind of this fast-moving energy at the beginning of this reading. But it's like slowing down and really drinking in the sweetness, really taking that in. Is there anything else for Libra? I kind of want to finish off with a moon card. I did say the Queen of Swords was the last card. That'll be the last tarot card. Let's pull an oracle card for you. What else do we have for Libra? Anything else for Libra? Interesting. We have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. So some of you are just making real on your dreams. I really get that. And it's like, you're no longer waiting for other people to come into your life and make things exciting. Like, you are charging into something. You are moving forward with something. Anything else for Libra? Full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. So yeah, I feel like you are finishing up cycles, especially in relationships, and especially patterns from childhood, things you might have been reincarnating in your relationships. It's like you're kind of done, and you're ready for a brand new beginning here with the new moon in Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the youngest sign. It's ready for new beginnings. You're just letting go of the old story, and you're finding a healing in yourself, where it's like, I'm really feeling like I'm connecting to this group where it's like you really thought you wanted someone or something for a long time. And now that it's like just about here or kind of in front of your face, you're just like, actually, this isn't really what I want anymore. And it feels very mature, it feels very positive, and it actually feels like your life is like, I want to say, like, I'm proud of you, actually, which is interesting. Like, I'm proud of the growth that you have reached and attained. I'm very proud of you, Libra. Because I feel like you're building something that makes you feel proud. And that's just beautiful. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Libra. I hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so that way you don't miss out on any of these future videos. Again, all of my information and links are in the description box down below. If you want to snag that sale before it ends on November 8th, you can do that. There'll be the discount code in the description or on my website. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care and have a happy and blessed November.